All right, let's talk about learning Python. If you've ever thought about it but just felt completely lost, like you don't even know where to begin, then this is for you. We're going to build a clear, simple roadmap that takes all that confusion and turns it into a real actionable plan.
I saw this comment on Reddit and it just hit the nail on the head. This perfectly captures that feeling we all get when we're starting something new. It's that little voice in your head going, am I doing this right? Am I just wasting my time? Because let's be honest, the amount of information out there, all the courses, the books, it's overwhelming. It can totally paralyze you before you even start.
So, if that sounds familiar, you are in exactly the right place. We are going to cut right through all of that noise. We're going to lay out a simple 5-step path that'll take you from knowing basically nothing to actually building cool projects that you can be proud of. Okay, let's dive right in with what is, without a doubt, the single most important step you can take. Seriously, before you write one line of code, you have to find your why. Think of your why as the engine for your whole journey. Experts from places like DataQuest and RealPython all say the same thing. Your motivation is the fuel that's going to get you through the tough spots. I mean, just learning Python's grammar, the syntax, just for the sake of it, that's a surefire way to burn out. But when you have a real goal, something you actually want to create, then suddenly every little thing you learn becomes a tool for something you're genuinely excited about. So what is it for you? What gets you excited? Do you want to dive into machine learning and maybe predict stock prices? Or build a cool website that helps you plan your meals for the week? Or maybe you just want to automate all those boring spreadsheets at work. Take a look at these ideas. Pick one that genuinely sounds fun, because that choice is going to guide everything else you do from here on out.
Awesome. So you've got your destination in sight. Now it's time to pack your toolkit. But here's the key. We're not packing for every possible trip. We're only packing the absolute essentials to get you started on your specific journey. This brings us to step 2, mastering the core fundamentals. And this is so important. You have to fight that urge to learn everything all at once. So many beginners get stuck in what people call tutorial hell, where they just watch videos for months and months, but never actually build anything. Our goal here is different. We want to learn just enough to start building, just enough to be effective. You can always pick up the rest as you need it.
So what is just enough? Well, what's so cool about programming is that it really boils down to just a few core ideas. We can call them the foundational form. First up, you've got variables. Just think of these like little labeled boxes where you can store information. Then you've got conditionals, which are basically if-then statements that let your code make decisions. Next are loops, which are amazing for doing repetitive tasks over and over again so you don't have to. And finally, functions. These are like recipes that let you bundle up chunks of code to reuse later. Seriously, if you can get a good handle on these 4 things, you have the foundation to build almost anything. Okay, so you've got your goal and you have your foundational toolkit. Now let's talk about how we actually turn that basic knowledge into a real solid skill. This is where we make that jump from just knowing something to actually doing something. Think about it like this. You could watch 100 hours of videos about how to swim, but you're not actually going to learn until you jump in the water, right? Programming is exactly the same. Passive learning, watching videos, reading articles, that's a great place to start. But active learning, where you're actually building things, solving problems, breaking stuff, and fixing it, that's where the knowledge really, truly sticks. And the best part? There are so many fantastic free resources to get you that hands-on practice. If you want to start coding immediately without installing anything, check out Codecademy. If you're looking for a more structured university-style class, Coursera's Python for Everybody is legendary. For really deep video tutorials that walk you through projects, YouTube channels like Corey Schaefer are gold. And later, when you want to sharpen your problem-solving skills, maybe for job interviews, a site like LeetCode is perfect. And, of course, your home base for everything is always the official guide at python.org. All right, this next part, this is where the magic really happens. But I'm not going to lie, it can also feel a little scary. It's time to take the training wheels off and start building your very own projects completely from scratch. If I could give you one piece of advice here, it's this. Start small.
Please start small. Trust me, it is so much better to finish a tiny, simple project than to start some huge, ambitious thing and get overwhelmed and just give up. Your first project does not need to change the world. It just needs to get finished. That feeling of finishing something gives you momentum, and that's what builds the confidence to tackle the next bigger challenge. And look, this is where that why from step 1 comes right back around. See how it all connects? If you are interested in data science, try to build a really simple prediction model. If you liked web development, maybe make a little site to help you plan meals. The whole point is to connect what you're learning back to that passion that got you started in the first place. Okay, let's be real for a second. You are absolutely 100% going to get stuck. Every single developer on the planet gets stuck every single day. The real skill isn't avoiding problems, it's learning how to get unstuck. So what do? First thing, always, copy and paste that error message right into Google. I guarantee someone has had your exact same problem. Stack Overflow is a goldmine of questions and answers. The official documentation is your ultimate source of truth. And hey, don't forget about modern AI tools. They can be incredible for explaining code or helping you find a bug. All right, last step. Now that you're on your way, let's talk about the common roadblocks, the little traps that trip up most beginners. If you know what they are ahead of time, you can just drive right around them. Here are 3 of the biggest ones. First, indentation errors. The deal with Python is that whitespace, spaces and tabs, actually matters. It's part of the grammar. One wrong space and your code breaks. So the fix is simple. Just be consistent. Second, ignoring errors. I get it, those red error messages look scary, but they are your best friends. They are literally telling you exactly where the problem is. So read them. And third, not handling exceptions. An exception is just a fancy word for an unexpected error. Using something called a try-except block is like telling your code, hey, try to do this thing, but if you run into a problem, don't just crash, do this other thing instead. It makes your code way more robust. So when you put it all together, you realize that learning to code isn't really a straight line from A to B. It's actually a cycle, an empowering loop. You learn a new concept. You immediately try to apply it in a project. You will inevitably get stuck. You use your resources to figure it out and solve it. And in that process of solving it, you learn the concept way more deeply than any video could ever teach you. And then you just repeat. And each time you go through that cycle, you get stronger and more confident. And that's it. That's your roadmap. It's a proven path that takes you from that feeling of confusion all the way to the feeling of creation. The map is officially in your hands now. So the only question left is, what are you going to build first?